everyone. First, let's talk about the synopsis. The synopsis is about Nana Hijana, a dedicated police officer on leave due to depression. Secretly continues investigating a murder case that is deeply connected to her despite being ordered to stop. Her life begins to change after being saved from a suicide attempt by Neil Raphael, a cybersecurity specialist whose unexpected presence becomes a turning point for her recovery. As time passes, she reboots her life, their bonds grow stronger, that eventually leading to a marriage, and together they work to solve the case. However, as the investigation deepens, Nana begins to suspect that something is not right with Neil and feels that he is hiding something from her. Her instinct as a police officer make her question his actions, even as she struggles with her trust in him as her husband. Unknown to her, Neil is living a double life. He is being manipulated by his father, Dato Rizal, a powerful and controlling figure who forces him to carry out a secret job and trip to his mother, as leverage to ensure his obedience. Trapped in this situation, Neil continues to work despite knowing that his actions are not only wrong but also directly connected to the very case Naina is trying to solve. As secrets unfolds, they are drawn into a dangerous web of lies, betrayals, and hidden truths, where the truth behind Neil's action may be the key to the case, creating growing tensions as they move closer to a truth that could destroy everything between them. In the end, the truth that binds them together may also be the very thing that tears them apart. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, today I'm going to present my story titled Facade, a psychological thriller set in modern of Kuala Lumpur focusing on trauma, betrayal and justice in the digital age. So let's start with the characters. First we have our protagonist Naina Hijana. Nana is a 28-year-old elite police officer from a special unit called CISO. At first glance she appears strong, disciplined, and highly committed to justice. But internally, she's actually struggling. She is emotionally fragile due to past trauma and is currently on leave because of her mental health. So, what makes her story interesting is her conflict. While she's supposed to rest, she secretly continues investigating a murder case. Then comes the twist. She realized that she was never the real target, but unknowingly, she has gotten dangerously close to the truth behind the criminals. Throughout the story, Naina evolves. She starts off broken and vulnerable, but gradually becomes stronger and more resilient. In the end, she chooses justice, even when it means facing her own pain. This makes her as a dynamic and round character. Next, we have our antagonist, Neil Raphael. Raphael is a cybersecurity expert and also Naina's partner. He appears calm, intelligent, and reliable person. You know, like the kind of person you would trust. But beneath that, he actually is hiding something big. His motivation is complex. He was forced into cybercrime by his own father, but the real conflict lies in his guilt because he was the one who created the system that being used until now. His character arc is very important. He starts off as what seems like a hero, but slowly we realize he is part of the problem. However, unlike a typical villain, he feels regret and eventually tries to make things right. This makes him as a dynamic and round antagonist. Finally, we have supporting character Dato Rizal, who Raphael's fathers. Dato Rizal is the mastermind behind everything. He is powerful, manipulative, and completely ruthless in the story. He blackmails Raphael and uses him as a tool for a much larger agenda that threatens national security related to Malaysia's security. Unlike the others, Dato Rizal doesn't change. He remains cool and self-centered throughout the story, making him a static and a flat character. Now, let's move on to setting. For the setting, the story takes place in the present day in a high-tech digital era where cybersecurity and data manipulation play a major role. The timeline spans several years, starting from Naina's lowest point in life all the way to Raphael's imprisonment and eventual redemption. So much struggle in the story. In terms of place, the main setting is Kuala Lumpur, a fast-paced urban city that reflects both technological advancements and the hidden dangers. We also have several key locations. First, the CISO headquarters, which is a high-pressure environment where Naina struggles between her duty and her mental state. Next, the overpass. This is a very symbolic place. It's where Naina and Raphael first meet during a moment that was supposed to end in the tragedy, but instead becomes the beginning of their connection between Naina Hijana and Neil Raphael. Then, the abandoned warehouse. This is where the climax happens. It's isolated and intense, revealing the truth behind everything happens. And finally, the prison, representing justice, consequences, and Raphael's path toward redemption. So, in conclusion, this story is not just about crimes or investigation, but it also explores deeper themes like trust, manipulation, guilt, and the strength to overcome trauma, especially for the honesty. That's all from me. Thank you.
So, for the plot of our story, it follows a complete narrative structure starting from the beginning until the resolution. At the beginning, the story introduced Naina Hijana, a police officer who is on leave due to depression. Even though she is not supposed to work, she secretly continues investigating a murder case that is personally important to her. During her lowest point, she meets Raphael, who saved her life, and this moment becomes the turning point of her recovery. Over time, their relationship grows and they eventually get married. Moving on to the rising action, the investigation becomes more complex as Raphael helps Naina using his cybersecurity skills. However, Naina starts to feel suspicious of him because of his unusual knowledge and behavior. So, this creates tension as she begins to question whether she can trust her own husband. The story reaches its climax when Naina follows Raphael to a remote location and discovers that he is actually involved in illegal hacking activities connected to the case. At this point, she is forced to face the truth that the person she trusts the most is also part of the problem. In the following action, Naina makes a very difficult decision to arrest Raphael, even though she still has feelings for him. This shows her commitment to justice over personal emotion. Finally, the resolution. The truth behind Raphael's action is revealed. He was actually being manipulated by his father. Although this punishment is reduced, the emotional damage between them cannot be fixed, and the story ends off a bittersweet note. So, let's move to the conflict. For the conflict, in our story, there are both internal and external conflict that drive the narrative. The internal conflict can be seen in both Naina and Raphael. Naina struggles between her love for Raphael and her responsibility as a police officer, while Raphael struggles with guilt because he is forced to commit crimes by his own father. As for the external conflict, the main conflict is between Naina and Raphael. Their relationship changed from a loving couple into a situation where one is a law enforcer and her other is a criminal. In addition, there is also a conflict between Raphael and his father, Dato' Rizal, who manipulates and controls him. This shows the term of power and control in the story. Overall, this conflict makes the story more emotional and intense, as the characters are forced to make difficult choices that affect both their life and the relationship.
Now we move to the moral value. One of the key moral values in Facade is honesty, as it is essential in building and maintaining trust in relationships. The drama shows that dishonesty, such as lying or hiding the truth, can lead to broken trust, emotional pain, and damaged relationships. Through Naina and Raphael's relationship, it highlights how secrecy and hidden truth create tension, suspicion, and instability, even in relationships built on love and support. The story also emphasizes the emotional impact of dishonesty, showing how it can lead to guilt, stress, and internal conflict. Overall, Facade conveys that honesty is crucial in preserving trust and meaningful relationships, and without it, people may face regret and long-lasting consequences. The theme of this drama focuses on dark psychology, exploring how emotional pressure and manipulation and moral conflict influence human behavior. It shows how power and control can force individuals to act against their own values, as seen in Raphael's situation with his father. The story also highlights trust and betrayal in relationships, particularly between Naina and Raphael, as their bond shifts from support to suspicion. Hidden truths begin to destroy trust and create emotional conflict. Additionally, the drama emphasizes the consequences of one's actions, showing how fear and desperation can lead to guilt, regret, and long-term emotional damage. Ultimately, it reflects how choices can shape or break a person and their relationships.